This call is now being recorded.
Good morning. Today's topic is network models. This is our lecture 2. In networking, we use the concept of layers in our daily life. As an example, let us consider two friends communicating through postal mail. The process of sending a letter to a friend would be complex if there were no service available from the post office. So, see how he or she will deliver his message or her message. Generally, a sender and a receiver. The sender writes a letter. The letter is written and put it in a envelope, and then drop this envelope in a mailbox. Then the letter is carried from the mailbox to a post office. The post office officials deliver the letter to a carrier. Then the parcel is carried from the source to the destination, say from Agartala to Delhi. The letter is delivered from the carrier to the post office. Then the letter is carried from the post office to a mailbox. The letter is picked up, removed from the envelope and read. So this is a way to send a message from sender to a receiver. Now, in networking, the same concept we use. It is known as OSI model. What is OSI model? It is a model established in 1947 by an organization known as ISO. ISO means International Standards Organization. It is a multinational body dedicated to worldwide agreement on international standards. ISO is a standard that covers all aspects of network communications in the open system interconnection model. So OSI means open system interconnection. ISO means International Standard Organization. ISO is the organization, OSI is the model. It was first introduced in the late 1970s. So the summary is ISO is the organization, OSI is the model. So ISO organization has divided the complex computer network into 7 different layers. The first layer is physical, then data link, network, transport, session, presentation, application. Now let's take an example of two nodes or two computers. Say device A want to send one message to device B with the help of some intermediate nodes. Then how the message will be delivered in OSI model. So at the device A, let's consider it as a sender. Message will travel from sender through the 7 layer: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, physical. And from the physical, the message will be delivered to intermediate node via physical data link network. Generally, intermediate nodes are kind of other devices that help in communication, which has generally 3 layers only: physical, data link, network. So the message now, after traveling from physical data link network, it will move to the second intermediate node, where it will deliver the message from network to network, then to data link, then to physical. And then if there are no more intermediate node, from physical it will send the message from physical to physical layer of device B, and then physical layer of device B deliver the data to data link layer, then network to transport to session, to presentation, to application, and at the end device B will receive the data. So you can observe the flow here that from device A it is top to bottom, for intermediate node bottom to top, for second intermediate node it is top to bottom, from then for device B it is from bottom to top. Clear? So this is a figure for interaction between layers in the OSI model, where you can observe that the application layer, whatever functions is application layer for device A, is understood by the application layer of device B. This is known as peer-to-peer protocol between 7th layer. Then peer-to-peer protocol for 6th layer. Then peer-to-peer protocol for 5th layer. Then peer-to-peer protocol for 4th layer. Okay. So this is layer concept of 7 different layers. Next, an exchange using OSI model, how the data is delivered from top to bottom layer. Say consider you has a data, let's take it as data D. When it will be delivered to application layer, it will be say considered as a D7. So D7 adds a application header known as AH, or here it is termed as H7. So 7th layer, the data is D7, then it adds its own header H7. So both the H7 D7 is considered as data for the next layer as a D6. D6 with its own header H6 is considered as D5 in the next layer, and that layer adds its own header H5. So see, D7 H7 together is D6. D6 adds its own header H6 is now D5. D5 and its own header is your D4 for the next layer. D4 plus H4 is next considered as D3 in the next layer, and D3 adds its own header H3 is considered as D2 in the second layer. See, then at D2 it adds its H2 header, and trailer T2, okay, is considered as your now bit that is converted into bit stream in the last final layer, and that bit stream is added with its own header where it is considered as H1, whose converted into binary is 0, 1, 0. So total bit stream is now available. So that bit stream is now transmitted through the transmission medium to the other side, to the receiver. So in the receiver side, this bit stream is received, and now this will be decoded into your H2, T2, and the middle is D2. D2 will be delivered to the next layer as D3, and D3 discard is header H3, deliver the data to the upper layer where it is again as H4 and D4. D4 is accepted, H4 is discarded. H4 is delivered to the upper layer as D5. D5 accepted, H5 dropped, header is dropped. Next D6, next D7, and then deliver the original data. Okay. So in this way, message is transmitted from upper layer device A to second layer device device B. Okay. So this figure is an exchange of information or data from sender to receiver using OSI model, where in each layer data is added with header. That data and header is considered as data for the next layer, and this way the data size will increase in each layer at the sender side. the sender last convert the bitstream, the data into bitstream. Bitstream will be delivered to the your transmission medium. Transmission medium will then deliver it to the receiver side. The receiver side will decode the bitstream into data, and in each layer it will drop its header part to form it as a, at the end, deliver it as a original data. Okay. So now let's consider it as functions of each layer. Let's start with physical. In physical layer, data link layer will deliver its data to the physical layer, where it will form in the bitstream. Binary bits will be generated from the data. That bitstream is delivered to the transmission medium, and transmission medium will deliver it to the physical layer. So physical layer will convert this bitstream into your data, and that will be delivered to the data link layer. Okay. So physical layer is responsible for movement of individual bits from one node to the next node, or one hop to the next hop. So please remember that physical layer function is responsible for movement of individual bits from one hop to the next hop. Data link layer function is it accepts data from network layer and adds its header and trailer, which is known as frame. Okay. In physical layer it is known as bitstream. In data link layer it is known as frame. Okay. Data with header and trailer is known as frame. So the message is now in the form of frame. So in sender side, that frame will be delivered to physical layer, and at the receiver side, physical layer will deliver the bitstream to form a frame, where data link layer will take care of the frame. So data link layer is responsible for moving frame from one hop to the next hop. Okay. So please remember, moving frames from one hop to the next hop. Earlier it is movement of bits from one hop to the next hop. Okay. One hop to the next hop. Now, up to this I hope clear. So now consider for some nodes how it delivers data from one node to another node, or hop to hop delivery. Let's consider here a case. Say node A want to transmit data to node F. Okay. Then node A will deliver data to B, B will deliver data to E, E will deliver data to F, where A will go through, in node A, data will go through data link layer to physical, physical to data link, and again in node B, data link to physical, and then it will deliver to E, physical to data link, then data link to physical, in E will deliver to physical layer of data node F, and at the end it will deliver to node F, where the communication you can observe that it is from data link layer to data link layer for each node. Okay. In network layer, the frames are now added with header 3. Okay, which is now known as packet. Please closely observe that inside network layer box, it is written as packet, where data from transport layer is considered as packet in network layer. and that will be delivered to data link layer in the sender side. In the receiver side, from network layer, data will be delivered in the form of packets, where packets will be two part. Header 3 means network layer header with data is desegmented, and this data will be delivered to the transport layer. So network layer is responsible for the delivery of individual packets from source host to the destination host. Okay. So here concept is from end to end. In data link layer, it was from node to node. Here source host to destination host. Now see, the same earlier figure is changed here, where data is delivered from A to B, then B to E, E to F. Okay, so earlier it is from hop to hop delivery. Okay, so there you can observe 3 hop to hop delivery, but for network layer, together this will be source to destination delivery. Okay, this is the difference between data link layer and network layer. Network layer is responsible for movement of bits from source to destination. Next, transport layer. Transport layer, generally the small packet is now received in the form of segment. Transport layer, the information is named as segment. Okay, where it collects data from session layer. Okay, different session data are collected together, and these small session data are added with its own header of transport layer header. H4 is transport layer header data, other sessions transport layer header plus data. So all these are small segments. These segments are received from session layer, added with its own header, and it will be delivered to the network layer. Okay, so transport layer is responsible to receive data from session layer and to deliver data to the network layer in the sender side. Receiver side, network layer accept data, okay, from the network layer, then it deliver data in the form of segment in transport layer. In transport layer, it removes the header H4 for each segments, and it delivers the data to the session layer. Okay, 3 data, green color data, are delivered to the session layer. So transport layer is responsible for the delivery of a message from one process to another process. Okay, earlier it was from source host to destination host. Now it is from process to process. Okay, generally let's consider one computer as source, another computer as destination. So between one source and one destination, there can be different processes in between the two computers. Say each node has 3 processes. Okay, so at the other side also 3 processes. So P1, let's consider it as a P1, P2, P3. So whenever communication will take place between the processes, that will be taken care of by the transport layer. So this is the figure as I am just explaining. Say one computer has 3 processes. It is connected to an internet, and in the receiver side there are also 3 processes. Okay, so transport layer takes care of process to process delivery. Okay, here figure shows process 2 to process 2 delivery, but all these process data are together delivered using network layer, where it will be like host to host delivery. Yeah. What is the function of session layer? Please see that it accepts data from presentation layer, where the data is synced in between different time frames. So after receiving data from presentation layer, session layer adds its own header known as H5, and in between data it uses sync to synchronize all the bit stream or all the data. Then it delivers the data to the transport layer. So function is that sender side it is between presentation layer to the transport layer. At the receiver side it is from transport layer to the presentation layer, where it removes H5 and it removes the sync packets and it delivers the data to the presentation layer. So the session layer is responsible for dialog control and synchronization. So please remember these two terms, dialog control and synchronization. Now the last layer is presentation layer, second last actually. So in the presentation layer, accept data from application layer, add its own header, presentation header, and deliver that A6 and data to the session layer in the sender side. At the receiver side, it accept data from session layer, discard the A6 header known as presentation header, and after discarding A6, it deliver the data to the application layer. Presentation layer is responsible for translation, compression, and encryption. Okay. So three functions: translation, compression, and encryption are taken care of by your presentation layer. Now, in the application layer, different application here in the figure it is showing three application X500, FTM, X400. These are user who is access human or program having three applications are considered as one data, and that data is given to the application layer. So application layer adds its own header known as application header or S7 and merge it as a single data to the presentation layer in the sender side. At the receiver side, the presentation layer the application layer accepts data from presentation layer, or it removes H7, and that data will be delivered to the user or program who is using the computer in the form of different applications. So application layer is responsible for providing services to the user. So let's summarize this layering concept, where you can clearly see that from bottom it is physical, then data link, network, transport, session, presentation, application. In the presentation, the function is to transmit bits over a medium or to provide mechanical and electrical specifications. Data link layer responsible to organize these bits into frames to provide hop-to-hop delivery. So please remember here, organize bits into frames is one statement, and provide hop-to-hop delivery is the function of data link layer. Network layer, it moves packet from source to destination and to provide inter-networking, or simply you can term it as routing. Network layer is responsible for routing. Okay, please remember this term, routing is the function of network layer, where data packet is delivered from host to host, okay, or source to destination. Next, transport layer, it provides reliable process to process message delivery and error recovery. Session layer, the function is to establish, manage, and terminate sessions. Presentation layer function is to translate, encrypt, and compress data. Function of application layer is to allow access to network resources. From all this slide, This is the summary. At least you can remember this as your last summary. So let me know up to this clear or not. So I have prepared some notes from the slides. I will give these notes to you via email, where there is a summary, or you can say short information of ISO-OSI model, why layered approach, questions like what is the necessary to have layering in a network layer, okay, how two adjacent layer communicate in a layer network, okay, then functions of each layer, physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, functions of presentation layer, application layer, okay. Then the same figure, interconnection between layers in OSI model, okay. Then now, if all concepts are clear, we will go for the next topic is TCP/IP protocol suite. Okay. Okay, let's start. OSI model is a reference model. Practically, OSI model is not used in computer network. In day-to-day life, whenever you're transmitting or sending a mail to your friend, you are using TCP/IP protocol suite. So the layer in the TCP/IP protocol suite do not exactly match those in the OSI model. The original TCP/IP protocol suite was defined as having only 4 layers. Okay. So just 1 minute. The original TCP/IP protocol suite was defined as having 4 layers. So host to network, internet, transport, and application. However, when TCP/IP is compared to OSI, we can say that the TCP/IP protocol suite is made of 5 layers. Okay, that is physical, data link, network, transport, and application. So which one is true? Just now I have given 2 statements as write-up from the book Forouzan that TCP/IP protocol has 4 layers. Those are host to network, internet, transport, and application. So the statement is true that TCP/IP protocol suite are of 4 layers. However, when TCP/IP is compared to OSI model, that time it is repeated as 5 layer. So here host to network is divided into physical and data link. Next, internet layer is known as network layer. Then transport, and last is application. Okay, 5 layers. So see in the figure, when the TCP/IP model is compared with OSI model, how it is presentation, how it is given. See, physical data link together is protocols defined by the underlying networks known as host to network layer. Okay. Then in the network layer, it is bracket it is internet, where mainly it uses IP. IP is here internet protocol. Okay. IP protocol, with the help of IP protocol, internet protocol, it uses other protocol known as ICMP, IGMP, RARP, ARP. Those those are some other protocols used in the network layer. I'll be describing this in details in the other slide. Okay, like ARP is address resolution protocol, RARP is reverse address resolution protocol. Okay, this will be covered as a separate chapter in the second or third class. Okay. Next is transport layer. Transport layer, the functions are same, okay, as in OSI model. So you can copy the nodes of transport layer functions in the TCP/IP transport layer. Okay, where it uses protocols like HTTP, TCP, UDP. Where TCP is a transmission control protocol, UDP is user datagram protocol. Okay, then all the sessions like application presentation sessions together are represented as application layer in TCP/IP. Okay, where different protocols like SMTP, FTP, HTTP, DNS, SNMP, Telnet, and others applications are used. Okay, like SMTP is your simple mail transfer protocol, FTP is your file transfer protocol, HTTP is hypertext transfer uh, uh, protocol, DNS your domain name system. Okay, different applications are used. So to summarize here is that for each layer, please write the functions as given in OSI model. Like for host to network, what are the functions? You can directly copy the content of physical and data link layer here. Second is your network, same to same, transport, same to same. And for application, write the functions of application presentation session layer of OSI model here. So generally in examinations, there are questions like compare between TCP/IP model and RARP model. Okay, so see in this note how it is compared. Okay, here are 4 layers and here are 7 layers. Okay, I have given here the full form for each protocols. You can use this. Okay. Now, up to this, what we have covered? We have covered layering concept in network or network layers. Okay, where 2 models are given: OSI model, TCP model. Okay, I hope up to this clear. Next is addressing. Okay, generally 4 levels of addresses are used in an internet employing the TCP/IP protocol. First is physical address, logical address, port address, and specific address. Okay. So addresses are 4 different types: physical, logical, port, specific. Physical layer with data link layer, which is known as your host to network layer, uses physical address. Network layer uses logical address. Transport layer uses port address. Application layer uses specific address. Let's have an example. Let's consider this as a example for describing physical address. Okay, the summary or the questions like this say: in figure, a node with physical address 10 sends a frame to a node with physical address 87. See, in figure, this is sender where address is 10. Okay, and where receiver is your 87. Physical address is 87. Okay, so how this sender transmits data from node whose address is 10 to to the receiver whose address is 87 using physical address. This is the question. Okay. So the two nodes are connected by a link. As the figure shows, the computer with physical address 10 is the sender and computer with physical address 87 is the receiver. This one. Okay. So say data is added with header. As I have said in data link layer, what is header? Here H2 is having source address 10, destination address 87 with the trailer T2. This data with header and trailer information is transmitted in the link. In the link, it will compare destination address. Here destination address of the node, second node is 28. Destination address does not match, then the packet is dropped in 28. Same way, same message is delivered to is sent to third node where destination address is 53. Since it is not as same as 87, so here the packet is not accepted and it is dropped. At the end, the receiver having 87 as physical address, after receiving data, it accepts the data because it finds a match between receiver address 87 and the header information where destination address is 87. So compare 87 with 87. Yes, it is for me. So receiver will accept the data. So in this figure, I have tried to explain how physical address is used to deliver data from one node to the another node using physical address. That is for data link layer actually. Now, next consider second example. Most local area network uses 48 bit, means 6 byte. 6 into 8 bit is your 48 bit physical address written as 12 hexadecimal digits. Okay, every byte is separated by a colon. So basically, as I have just said, this is 87 is just for reference, is a physical address. Okay, when this physical address is written in hexadecimal digit, that will be, example is say 07 colon 01 colon 02 colon 01 colon 2C colon 4B 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is first byte, second byte, third byte, fourth, fifth, sixth byte. So 6 positions you can say. Whenever you look, you will get this kind of address. Directly you can say that this is a physical address whose length is 48 bit or 6 byte or full hexadecimal digits. Now consider this second figure where it will take the help of IP address to deliver data from your sender to a receiver. Here we are showing LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3. How this IP address, with the help of IP address, the sender A delivers data to the receiver. Okay, that is our aim. For each case, see, upper layer deliver data to the network layer. Network layer adds its own header. Okay, A and P. Okay, so let's consider what is A and what is P. Let's say A is the address of node A, P is the address of receiver. So A and P are considered as IP address of node sender and node receiver. Okay, A as IP address of node A, P as IP address of node B, and the here 10 is your physical address. Okay, let's consider this 10 as physical address, and your what is 20 here? 20 is your receiver address or destination address. Okay, so just see this line 20 10 A P data T2. When this sender will send a message to the next hop, it will use the help of LAN, and in the LAN it will transmit the data frame with this all informations to the next destination, next node, where it will accept 2010 AP data T2. Closely observe that if this LAN is connected to a router, the router has different IP address and different physical address, where it has F as IP address, 20 as physical address in one side. In another side, it has IP address as T and destination physical address is 99. Say this router is connected to another network where it has IP address X and your physical address is 44. So this router has 3 IP address, 3 physical address. So whenever it will receive a data from node A to the router 1, it will receive in the form of 2010 AP data T2. Here in the figure, since this 10 is the source, this 20 is the destination. After receiving data in router F, F by 20 means physical address F and IP address F and physical address 20. So it will compare, okay, my router physical address 20 is similar to the same as to the mentioned in the header part where 20. So 20 match means yes, this information is for me. So it will discard the header part 2010 from its information and it will accept AP data. Okay. Then this AP data from router F/20 to T/99 from one point of router to the another point of to deliver T/99. When this router 1 will deliver data to router 2, then it forms a message in the form of 3399 AP data T2. What is 33? 33 is your destination for the next LAN, okay, and 99 is physical address of the router, okay. So it adds 3399 with the AP data and trailer and it delivers it to the LAN 2. LAN 2 having its IP address as N but physical address as 33 receives the frame 3399 AP data T2. 33 is same as 33, so accept the information where it discard the header part 3399. Now the actual information AP data is received in the router 2 having physical address 33 and it delivered to the physical address 66, okay, where this router 2 will deliver the data after forming the information as 9566 AP data T2. What is 95? The destination receiver physical address and 66 is physical address of the router, okay. So destination physical address, source physical address is now 95 and 66 AP data T2. This information known as frame is delivered to LAN 3. LAN 3 receives 9566 AP data T2 as a information where it compares this 66 is from the sender and 95 is destination address the destination address 95 is same as me of the receiver. So 95 same. Okay, the receive the message AP data T2. Since AP data T2 is received, so network layer just discard the part A and P. So the actual data is delivered to the next layer where the data is received to the receiver. See, in the whole figure, uh, the data is unchanged. Okay, and network layer AP data together, by A and P together is your header part of network layer plus data is unchanged. In each hop the physical address is changed. Okay, only at the receiver network layer discard header information consists of A, P, and AP is dropped. The data is transmitted to the upper layer. So the receiver, how this receiver compares now? Since the receiver has physical address 95, it's okay. Moreover, the receiver has IP address as P. So P is compared with your information here that destination IP address P is same as my IP address. So P matching. So receive the data. So is this clear? So this figure looks like complex, but if you will understand this, it will be easy for you. The concept will be clear. We have covered physical address, network address or IP address, where we are going to cover port address. Okay, as I have said, we can have different process. Let's say the process is A, B, C. Okay, this A, small a is the application say. So for sender A, the data will be added with A and J as a transport layer header together, where A is the source port address, J is the destination port address. If you will see receiver P, where J is the destination port address. Okay, this A and J are your port address. So in the network layer, AJ data together is data for network layer. Network layer adds its own IP address A and destination IP address as P. So network layer added its own header. So together all the informations is now data for data link layer. Data link layer adds its H2, where H2 will be like, in an earlier example it is 2010 D10 na? That physical address is H2 here. Together this will be your bits converted in the physical layer. These bits will be transmitted through internet. In the receiver side, data link layer accepts this bit to form frame. It accepts and discard the H2 part, means physical address, and deliver A, capital P, A, J data as a information to the network layer. Network layer discard A and P IP address. Transport layer receives port address A, J data. Then application layer discard A and J port address. Then this data will be delivered to the J application. See, logical address will change from hop to hop, but the physical address usually remain the same. That is the summary. A port address is a 16-bit address represented by 1 decimal number as shown in figure like 753, okay, or 8080 sometimes we get. Physical address change from hop to hop, but logical and port address usually remain same. So this is the summary of today's class, and today's class will be up to this only. I hope I have tried to given the full details. Okay. If any questions, you can ask me in the chat.